Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's talk about observational skills. Specifically, I want to talk about the grid searching technique. I'm doing a series of videos on cognitive biases, and then I also am doing some on observational skills that I'm working on myself, and I'm inviting you into the journey. Now, these videos were originally created because of things like the national treasure hunt going on with John Collins Black. There's treasure inside, and I've been intrigued by studying this culture and this world and how treasure hunt designs occur and how people search for treasures. But this is really not about treasure hunting alone. This is about cultivating skills and ways of thinking so that we can engage in clearer thinking and we can discover truth where it's to be found. We can discover sort of the literal and the metaphorical treasures by just cultivating strong thinking skills and strong observational skills. So one that I've started to use more and more is this grid searching technique. And I have another video on this idea of losing your keys and how you find them and how the strategies to find keys can actually help us find a lot of other things too. Well, I did talk about in that video the idea of the grid searching technique, and I'm going to go into it in just a little bit more detail in this video. So have you ever maybe been on a search for something and you were looking all over the place for it, only to find that afterward you walk away and you realize that you skipped entire sections and you left things unsearched for? Well, in this national treasure hunt that's going on, I'm pretty confident, for example, the one with the John Collins Black treasure, there are 5 treasure boxes hidden around the country. I'm pretty confident that probably every treasure box has had hunters walk within 50 miles. I mean, treasure hunters, probably maybe other hunters in the woods too, but treasure hunters have probably walked within 50 feet of the treasure and not discovered it, because they maybe didn't have a systematic approach to searching. And of course, this idea of a grid searching method has very high stakes when people are searching for missing persons and other things like that. But we can use this in our everyday life when we're trying to just be more attentive to the things around us. So let's go ahead and dive in, and I'm going to give you sort of 5 simple steps or approaches to using the grid searching method. Maybe not as a professional, like you're someone coming from criminal justice world or investigative world, but we can use some of the same strategies in simpler ways, layperson ways, to find things more easily, to discover things that we might have missed otherwise. First one that's an approach to this is you're really just dividing a space intentionally. You can break the area either physically or digitally into small, manageable sections. So imagine that you're in a room. I'm in a room right now. The room is about 10 feet by 15 feet, and maybe I break it into a series of 8 segments. Now, and I want to search for the whole room, so I maybe do it in terms of segments of the floor, but I mark it off figuratively or literally into these 8 different segments, but those go all the way up to the ceiling. And then I have it broken off, and I'm going to be attending and looking at one segment at a time. And that's really the second step here. So once you have things broken up into segments, now you're not just going to scan the whole room and look around, which we often do when we lose our keys or our wallet or our phone. We just start kind of randomly looking all over the place. But this is a more systematic. Break it into segments, and then you're going to go through one segment at a time. And you want to do this systematically. So when you're in one of these grids that you've kind of blocked off, you're going to just attend to that. And there's some research to show that this linear approach really reduces mental fatigue, and it also reduces missing clues or missing things that you would have that you can notice when you just do a small section. So you're just giving all of your attention to 1/8 of the space. And just really focusing on that for a fixed amount of time, a slow scan of it, looking up, down, all the areas. The third one is you want to use a consistent pattern. So when you're in a particular grid, you want to go left to right, top to bottom, and so you have a very consistent pattern of where you're looking. So I'm in this grid, I'm going to start at the top, I'm going to work my way down, and then I'm going to go up to the top again, and I'm going to go down, and I'll work my way all the way through that segment using this systematic, consistent approach. So left to right, top to bottom is not the only way to do it, but you want to come up with a pattern that works for you and you do it consistently. Teams do this. There are detectives that use an approach like this. It can work. So try it. If you've never tried it before, you can. You can even have a friend or someone hide some things, and you can use this method and test it out in a room or a larger space or a field. The next one then is you want to overlay some grid logic or on some mental tasks. So here's what I mean by this is I have these written down. So see me looking down, I'm actually checking out my notes. So you want to use the same approach for analyzing things that are mental tasks. So sometimes what you're looking for is a physical item, but maybe you're studying a map. Maybe there's a treasure map and you're trying to follow. You can use these exact same kind of grid logic. You look at one segment, you pay only attention to that one segment, and then you go through in a systematic way that same segment. Or if you were looking and you're in a treasure hunt and all the clues are hidden in a single poem or a book, same thing. Break it up into the segments, and then you're going to give one section at a time, and you'll go through it in a systematic way. And so this can work in physical spaces, but it can work in others too. And then the fifth one is you want to document things. So as you go through different sections, you're going to mark off the completed areas, and you want to sort of so you know what you've checked out and you know what you haven't, and you're just going to work your way through every single area until you've marked off all of them. I am convinced that oftentimes when people are searching things, especially in large areas outside, they just leave spots out because they don't have a simple, systematic approach. And this can help a ton. I know it sounds pretty simple, but it's one of those where its power, its impact only comes when you try it and you practice it a number of times and you start to see the incredible results that can come from it. I hope you find this is helpful. Look forward to your comments.